It's time for my next guest now, and we don't get many authors or writers on the show. And this one has a little bit of a twist as well. First up, I want to welcome Robert E Willock to the Danny Sun Drive Time Show. Welcome, Robert, and hope you're having a great day so far.
Yeah. Hi, Danny. Pleased to speak to you.
Yes.
It's good of you to have me on your show.
That's wonderful. Thank you for taking time out to talk about your new book as well. You were a former taxi driver, and they do say, like, when you're a taxi driver, you can actually write a book about all the things you've seen and all the journeys you've made. And you've actually put that into practice. You've actually released a new book. Can you tell us what the title is? And is it a true story, or is it a partial true story, or a bit of both?
Yeah, well, actually, the book is called Turning Corners, which is basically about a taxi driver and the situations he finds himself in. The first half of the book is basically about the people he picks up and the absurd situations. And the second half basically changes slightly because he finds himself, by a strange twist of fate, he's suddenly in possession of loads and loads of money, and the problems that all creates. But as far as taking things, I've taken chunks out of people that I've dealt with. There's nothing, must bear in mind, this is fiction, so nothing is true. But I've taken chunks out of people and how to make the book give it some flavour. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and I must admit, originally, this was just going to be a book about me, writing about myself when I was a youngster, the things that used to happen. And then it developed, well, I can do a story about being a taxi driver because things strange do happen. But I thought to myself, this needs something a little bit extra. So I decided to put a bit of drama into murder and a bit of kidnapping. And I felt that it gave it the edge. I must emphasise, though, this book is basically a comedy. There are some bad things that happen in it, but it's a little bit, at times, a bit like Faulty Towers or a bit like Fools and Horses. So it's generally a comedy, even though there is some quite serious bits in it. So that's basically the situation.
Well, thanks for clearing that up. So you got different scenarios in the book, and you kind of say it's comedy, but you do touch on, say, different types of kind of like, say, thriller as well along those lines.
Yeah.
As well. Okay, great
That's
stuff.
Right, yeah.
And you lived in Birmingham. You're now living in Worcestershire. Do you miss the days of cabbying, like the picking people up, meeting people up, or are you happy you're away from that scene now?
Well, I'm very happy at the moment, but I really did enjoy taxi driving because you did mix with a variety of people. But at the moment, I'm more than happy because the book's doing well, and I'm finding this extremely exciting. And there was times when you go out in a taxi and it was great. And the other days, it's like any other job, I suppose. But the other days when everything seems to go wrong, you get a puncher or get somebody who leaves something in the back of the car, or some irate customer vetting you. But generally speaking, taxi driving is good fun.
And did you ever get sick of those questions? Are you busy tonight, and what time are you on till?
It does crop up a bit. Yeah, yes, there are times when you always end up laughing, saying no, it's fine. But that's probably the most asked question. Yeah.
I suppose that's customers trying to make light-hearted conversation. When you get the awkward silence between some taxi drivers.
Well, that's very true, Danny. And there's a bit of that in turning corners. But I mean, there's some people get in the car, you can't get a word in.
Yeah.
And you're only too glad when they get out of the cab because they're exhausted. But we're all different, and some people are getting that polite and they don't say a word. There's others that you wouldn't want to be in 20 yards within near them, but that's the way the job goes. I think that's the way of any job, isn't it, when you're dealing with the public.
And did you get many runners over the years? People trying to?
No, very, very, very few. There's ways to try and really limit that situation. If it's somebody that you pick up and you haven't got an address or anything, you usually get the money off them. And generally speaking, they're usually very good about that.
Yeah.
But, it's quite amazing. It's usually people that try that trick. It's usually it's who you never suspect. Really.
It's the unlikely
charming young girls or something like that.
The unlikely ones.
Yeah.
And what do you think of Uber, where it's all going now? Do you think it's a good thing? You can go on your mobile phone, you can dial a taxi and it's there within minutes. Do you think that's great and people can know what the fare is? Or do you think that's kind of killed the black cabs off the Hackney carriages?
Well, obviously I've been out the trade for a few years now, so I've lost touch a little bit. As far as this goes, from the customer's point of view, like America, they're very happy with it. So I suppose at the end of the day, that's what we have to make decisions. I think it's been very awkward, I believe, for the black cabs over the last 10, 15 years, because you can get all the information now on these newfangled phones. I think black cab is it's pretty outdated.
Yeah.
But having said that, I do feel sorry for taxis these days, because it's so hard to make a living.
Yeah.
The cost of everything.
Yeah. It's because the fares seem to be going down rather than up. As a customer who uses taxis, I kind of see that myself.
Yeah, well, you're probably right, but still the cost of everything goes up, the insurance, and the rent, and I don't know what's quite happening now, but obviously in the near future we've got to change to what sort of fuel we use in the car, and that's going to cost an awful lot of money. So, you got your overheads, and then there might be going into electric cars as well. Who knows? Yeah. And onto your book now. Where can people find your book? That's the main thing. Where can people actually find your book? Is it in like the local bookshops? Is it online, or both? Or well, we've got a bit of everything at the moment. On Amazon, you can get it on Kindle for £4. It will be available on books at Amazon, but I think they may have just sold out the ones that had, and they're restocking. You can get it through your website. Through my website.
Yep. And what's your website's address, please?
It's what, sorry?
What's your website address so people can have a little
look?
Yes,
it's rewillock.com.
Okay, rewillock.com. And if people can just kind of search your name and it will come up on the search engines like Google. Right, that's great. Yeah. And
it's also on the shelves at Waterstone. Well, I say on the shelf. You can order it there.
Yeah.
After 2 or 3 weeks. That's just under £10. That's available.
Yeah. And people who are in our neck of the woods, there's a Waterstones in Redditch, and there's a big one in Birmingham, isn't there?
That's right. Yeah. So that's good.
And I've got a taxi joke for you. A man jumps in a taxi and says, "King Arthur's close," and the taxi driver says, "Don't worry about him. I'll lose him at the lights."
I think that's very good, actually.
That took a lot of preparation, that one did. Robert E. Willock, thank you very much for being my guest on the Dannison Drive Time Show. It's been amazing.
Okay, that's very good of you,
Thank you very much.